The transfer window is officially open and the rumours are electric. Right now, Marmoush, Bryan Mbeumo, Nico Williams, Cunha, Victor Gyökeres, Alexander Isak. There are strong links linking all of these players to Arsenal right now. This January transfer window for Arsenal and Liverpool, as well as City, is absolutely huge. But the ones team I've said, and I've remained the same, the most talked about team this January transfer window is going to be Arsenal, especially with that Bukayo Saka injury. Of course, they play today, in which will be their first proper test without him. They beat Ipswich 1-0, in which wasn't the best of watches looking at it from a neutral perspective, but it's 3 points, it's a clean sheet, it's a win. Going away today, in which some people are saying this is Bryan Mbeumo's audition to be an Arsenal player. We've got so much to get into. Happy New Year to every single one of you. I want to say a massive thank you for all the support the last year on the channel. The channel is growing so fast, and I couldn't be here without you guys. Make sure you go down, drop the video a like. That would be greatly appreciated. If we get 300 likes, that'd be glorious. Channel membership is coming soon. The road to 40k is well and truly on. 88% of you are not subscribed to watch all the transfer videos, all the match reaction, all the content. So go down, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to start with the report coming out from Sky Sports News that Arsenal want to strengthen in multiple areas, and then we'll move on to Bryan Mbeumo and Nico Williams, etc. Now, this is the report from Sky Sports News. It's come out and said from Sky Sports, Arsenal looking to strengthen in several areas. They want to bring in a new young goalkeeper. They're happy to potentially lose Thomas Partey and Jorginho. They're out of contract in 6 months. There's reports out there with Kai Havertz and Jesus. They need an upgrade. Marquinhos' loan at Fluminense ends on December the 31st. So he should be coming back to Arsenal. And there's also a lot of links out there with Fabio Vieira could return on loan. A lot of this is kind of expected. I think a new young goalkeeper, Ramsdale is obviously, he's left. Neto is, I don't think he's ever really going to play while they've got David Raya. But maybe bringing in a new young goalkeeper could be something they look at in the future. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out. This was back in the summer, at the end of the summer window, saying that they're looking at a forward. They looked at Sterling. They signed Sterling. And he's come out essentially saying that he expects Arsenal to be incredibly busy this month, both with outgoings and incomings, especially with that Saka injury. Sky Sports have also come out and said Williams, Isak, Mbeumo are on the Arsenal shortlist. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because I don't personally feel that, as it stands right now, Alexander Isak will leave Newcastle this month. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It's not going to happen. If he leaves Newcastle, it is going to be in the summer, and it's going to be of a huge fee. Newcastle have already, told the media that if he is to go, it's for around £150 million. Newcastle right now are playing really good football. They're winning games on the bounce. They're chasing a Champions League position. If they get into the Champions League, it's going to be even harder to get him out of Newcastle. However, Bryan Mbeumo, Nico Williams, and Marmoush, I've probably butchered that, the Egyptian from Frankfurt. Arsenal are actively trying to recruit wide players in the January transfer window following Bukayo Saka's hamstring surgery, according to the Daily Mail. Saka is set to miss a minimum of 2 months. I actually think this report is a little bit, I think it's probably going to be more like 3 months before he's fully fit. The Gunners view Athletic Bilbao, Nico Williams, Bayern Munich's Leroy Sané, Real Madrid's youngster Arda Güler, and Bayer Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz as potential options to strengthen that wide. Now, if Arda Güler leaves Real Madrid, the Turkish international, it's probably going to be on a loan move. I can't see them really selling him. He's one of their best young assets. Florian Wirtz is very unlikely he leaves this January. It's probably going to be for a minimum of 100 million euro as well. Leroy Sané, I think Arsenal need to look at a better player who's got more output, who's younger. Leroy Sané's best years as a footballer were at Manchester City about 4 or 5 years ago now. and he's on ridiculously high wages. That then leaves Nico Williams and Bryan Mbeumo. It then goes on, and we'll get to those in a second. It then goes on to say the Gunners want to bring in a new number 9 with Alexander Isak, RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, and Wolves' Matthias Cunha, and Brentford's Bryan Mbeumo, all of interest, though they accept signing one of those would be difficult in January. The report claims the club have also been offered PSG forward Kolo Muani, who I don't think at this moment in time comes into Arsenal and takes them up levels. The Mail says money won't be an issue for the club. Cronky owners who have invested heavily in Arsenal in the squad during Mikel Arteta's tenure. Arsenal also to be interested in signing a central midfielder with Jorginho and Partey's contracts due to expire this summer. Now, there's a lot to get through from that report. I want to start with Bryan Mbeumo because I think he is attainable this January window. Of course, Arsenal play Brentford tonight, and a lot of people are coming out and saying this is going to be like his audition to play for Arsenal. He's 25 years of age. He's got 10 goals and 2 assists in the league this season, which to my knowledge, he has more goals this season in the Premier League than any other forward besides Bukayo Saka. When you look at his numbers individually for Brentford, they are very, very good for a guy that plays for a lower in club in Brentford. 60 goals and 44 assists, 104 goal contributions in 221 games for Brentford. His record in the Premier League is very good as well. Overall, 55 goal contributions in 116. That's roughly one goal contribution every 2 games. He's a player that can play on the right, can play on the left. When you look at Bryan Mbeumo's actual match stats, they are very, very good. We'll bring up his stats now in terms of what he brings per 90 to the field. Plus, there's also one thing that's not being looking about. His wages are more than attainable. He's on £45,000 a week at Brentford. Arsenal could put him on a minimum of 100k, and I think he would roughly cost around £60 million. As you can see there, £45,000 a week, and that's, of course, at Brentford. When you look at his stats versus forwards, there's a lot of things in here that Arsenal will be looking for. Don't get me wrong, the pass completion is quite low. However, top 10% for successful take-ons, top 7% for progressive carries, top 8% for progressive passes, top 6% for passes attempted. Progressive passes received is in the top 3% of all forwards in Europe. Expected assist goals is top 11%. Shot creating actions. Then you've also got to think about, this is what Bukayo Saka does incredibly well. He tracks back. He's in the top 8% for blocks. You know, his tackles, his interceptions, his clearances, very, very good stats. Arsenal should be looking at that and going, right, obviously they've got all the data in the world, a lot more than we have. But they should be looking at that right now thinking, there's a player in there that's 25 years of age, who's got double digits for goals the last 3 seasons for Brentford, is kind of the shining light in a Brentford side, and tracks back, can play on the right, can play up front, can play on the left. And when you look at his stats like in more deep detail, you know, last season he got 15 goal contributions in 25 games. The season before that, he got 17 goal contributions in 38 games. And the season before that, he got 11 in 35. Also had a really good record in the Championship, 19 goal contributions in 44. And this season already has got 10 goals and 2 assists. For me, he would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. Another player they're being heavily linked to is Omar Marmoush. Now, he is balling out, absolutely balling out in the Bundesliga. His stats this season are absolutely ridiculous. 24 games played, 30 goal contributions. Not many players have got more GA across the board than him in Europe right now. The only one that comes to mind that has got more is Bukayo Saka and, of course, Mohamed Salah. 18 goals and 12 assists is a very good return. 13 goals in 15 games with 8 assists. 4 goals in the Europa League with 2 assists and has got 3 GA in the German Cup. You know, when you look at Marmoush in more close detail, he's 25 years of age, about to be 26. He's valued at around 60 million euros. His stats are also very, very, very good. He's part of the CAA Stellar Agency, which I think, to my knowledge, is the same agency as Raheem Sterling. So maybe there's something they can do there. But you've also got to look at the financial side of things. He is only on 30,000 euros a week. So again, Arsenal could bring him in, put him on £100,000 a week salary, which is a massive upgrade in wages, right? A guy that's already got 20 goal contributions in 15 games in one of the top 5 leagues. You know, for me, they have got to be looking at him. When you look at his stats per 90, they are absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Top 2% for assists, top 7% for expected assists. You know, total shots, top 9%. His dribbling stats are incredible. He's definitely attainable. And then you look on the right-hand side, a lot of players, he's very similar stats to an Alexander Isak. Better numbers this season than Vinny Jr., Undav, and Mbappe. I think he would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. And then, of course, there is Nico Williams. We know that guy's quality. We know how good he can be. He is another one who is potentially going to be attainable this January window. I think Arsenal have got to get their business done early. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that he expects the Premier League clubs to be incredibly busy this month on both incomings and outgoings. But when you look at the schedule Arsenal have got coming out, this month is going to be a very, very busy month for them. They've got Manchester United in the Cup. They've got North London Derby. They've got Newcastle in the League Cup. They've got Brentford and Brighton away alongside Aston Villa in there. They need to bring someone in ASAP. The priority right now is bringing in a forward ASAP, because I looked at their bench in their most recent game against Ipswich and they did not have a forward on there. Raheem Sterling apparently is going to be back earlier from injury, and they've got 9 games this month. 9 games. They've got these 8, and then they've also got Girona on the 29th. So a League Cup game, an FA Cup game, 2 Champions Leagues, and 5 league games. Brentford away is not going to be easy. We'll be here from an instant match reaction later today. Brighton away is not going to be easy either. Aston Villa, Spurs, Wolves away, they've picked up a bit of form. They have categorically got to bring in a forward ASAP. There is confirmed interest out there on Marmoush, on Bryan Mbeumo. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next day or so. But as it stands right now, it would be criminal, absolutely criminal, if Arsenal did not bring a forward in. You look at the position they're in right now, they are playing relatively good football, but they do lack a bit of a final third threat at the moment. You look at some of their recent results, drawing 0-0 to Everton, narrowly beating Ipswich. And a lot of their games where they haven't been on it have been at home. 2-0 against Man United. They should have scored more goals there for me. Drawing 0-0 against Everton, narrowly beating Shakhtar, narrowly beating Ipswich away from home. The Arsenal 5-2 win, the Palace 5-1 win, the Sporting 5-1 win away. They have had been a much bigger threat away from home, but getting a player in is so important for them. They categorically cannot afford to miss this. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed for daily transfer updates. We're out of here.